because crypto's down. I need to figure out something. Like, what's going on out here? I got in drip, the animal farms, the drip garden. I'm not about to act like I think these are great projects. They're really running raggedy. It all just looks bad from the outside. This is crazy because now we know. We know that they're all going to zero. In January, we weren't so clear. But now we understand. So now, when you get into the high ROI DApps of 2022, it was different. You had the plan where you kind of thought, how many months can I make this kind of money? I doubled my money in like 10 days. And then I doubled it again and I put a little bit more in after that. We have so much more data than we had then. We have examples, 40, 50 of these apps come out and start going to zero faster. So now you're hip to Ponzi-nomics. And now you're aware of what's going on. And the gamble has changed. The gamble then was, how much money can I make off this? I know it's high risk. I'm willing to try it. Now it is, how fast am I willing to lose my money in hopes of making 10 or 20% before I get taken to zero? Why does that happen? Like, if you look at, like, for instance, have you lost any money in these high ROI DApps? And if you have, tell me some of the worst ones or just the worst one in the comments. The gamble now is, how fast can I get the money? Because these projects went from a couple months to a month to like 21 days to like now it might be 2 weeks. And it might even be lower than that. I stepped away and I said I wasn't going to make more videos about it. Now that I know different, and people making money now are the people who are pushing referrals and the influencers who you can put a little bit of money in and your idea of a little bit, get a ton of referrals and a ton of followers join the package, you get your money kind of right away. So you get to sign out with positive money. You didn't lose anything. But everybody who came in under you, who didn't bring people in, they're getting swallowed up by how fast these projects are going down. If you're getting 6% a day, 7% a day, it has to last 14 days for you to make your money. If it doesn't make that, and be aware, the devs who are the whales could well be developing apps to change the tokenomics, to make it sound like they're trying to last the project longer so that you make more money off of them. But what they're doing is just changing the sucker form to pull people in, knowing that they're about to watch when people get in and drive the thing to zero. Everything's not a rug. I mean, the contract's built to go to zero. That's the plan going, money in, money out. That's actually the contract working like it's written. It's written to pay out until it's gone. And that means at some point the money will be gone and you'll stop getting paid. So if you're not putting some other utility behind it, you're not getting any payout. 40, 50 of these packages probably went out in March or so, between January and March, when you start seeing, hey, I'm seeing something going on here that's not looking good. It smells like fish. So you have to look at that and say, maybe I should back up my investment a little bit because this isn't going right anymore. There's only a plan to stretch the longevity out, how long it takes you to lose money. And possibly with that, the thought that you may be willing to risk more, because the longer things go like these, the more money you make, you may be willing to put more in because they stretched out the time before you die. It's wild. It's wild how the thought process changes when you're a gambler in January and you see these come out versus March. It's not that you're less of a gambler. It's that you're making a more educated guess. Like in January, you didn't know as much about how these work. Now you see it. To be still involved in it is tough. And I'm not recommending you do or don't get involved in these. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't know your situation. This might all be play money. In January, it's fun for me. Knowing it's high ROI, it's high risk, and I could lose my money, but it wasn't as clear to me at that point that I am going to lose money. And so I didn't. I did well. Now, Multimatic, I didn't do so great. Like, I got smashed. I lost 70%. I got 70% of my money out. Matic Staker is the one I got 70% of my money out. Multimatic, I didn't get it out. I got zeroed out before I got anything. If you get into a package early and you're able to start pooling your percent every day, like, why would you risk your money to get in a project where you have to fight and remember and find time every day to log on if you're a busy person, and pull that percentage out just to try to get your money back. If you do great, and you ROI and you get maybe an extra 20% on your money before you get zeroed. And that, trust me, that's harder and harder to do. You went through all that work. Is 20% of the money you put in this project worth it? Then they're going to take 10% maybe in withdrawal fees, and then whenever you give in this bogus token, you're going to cash it out into another token that you can actually spend, and then you're going to send it to BTC so you can transfer it back to your Cash App. After that, you made $2. Is $2 worth the amount of time that it took 3 or 4 different transfers to get it back to your hand? And you got lucky to even get your money back? This is what we're racing against now. I don't see how it's worth it. What we had going in, the knowledge for me was I got in drip. If you write a good contract and it pays you 1% every day, and you can go in, you push that recompound button, and you get it, and it works every single time. And it has been for a full year now. That's super commendable. So I don't care about the farms and all of the animal farms, the manor farm, the drip garden. I don't care about all of that because it all just looks bad from the outside. But the contract itself is still working 1%. Splash another one that went to 0. They're back, and the price tanked just like drip, just tanked all the way down with no signs of recovery whatsoever. It'll hit a floor at some point and maybe work its way back up from there. So I'm still involved in those two, but I'm not about to act like I think these are great projects and they can't go wrong. They're really running raggedy, but the contract, just that part, is working good, and that's the part I'm involved in, so I'm okay with it. When you look at the lack of ingenuity, baked beans, it was supposed to be the top of the cream of the crop. It's gone over the hump like that. Now it's paying out more than it's bringing in. Probably the start at the bottom for that. And why? Because that's 6-to-1 thing. If you tell people you have to compound 6 days, and on the 7th day you take your profit, and that's all we got to do for success. First of all, you're like, somebody took the time to figure that out. Thank you, my friend. This is good. Now we know how to make it work. Okay, now let's get into reality. In what world does everybody follow a plan just to make something good for everybody? Nowhere. If they did, we would have no isms in the world. Whales, they're hearing that plan too. Their job is to eat off of you. They would say, okay, so if they're going to do this every 6 days, they're going to compound for 6 days in a row, I might as well put a boatload of bread in here and I'll eat all of the beans that they're baking. Jesus Christ. How much food do they have to eat? You look one level, they play at 2, 3, 4 levels. I think publicizing that 6-to-1 and trying to make that a common thing is utopian thinking, and I think that's why it's getting eaten up right now. That's just my opinion. It's crazy. Hey, if you like hearing me badmouth the high ROI DApps, why don't you take a peek at this video I did here. This tells you back when I was into it, and you can laugh at my pain because exactly what I thought was going to happen did happen, and it'd be nice for you to look at that and you can have a laugh. Take care. Thanks for staying the whole way through. I hope you make some money out there.